everybody, Dr. Jonathan Fabian here with HealthSource of Riverton, and I'm coming today with a special video. So as many of you know, my wife and I recently had a baby, and I thought that this was a wonderful opportunity to answer some questions and also give a demonstration. I have a lot of people ask me if chiropractic is something that is safe and effective for newborns, and the answer to that is yes. So there are a few things that we can look at that may indicate that your little one could benefit from chiropractic adjustment, and I'd also like to demonstrate what that type of adjustment looks like. So some things that might make you feel like your kid should maybe be seen by the chiropractor are colic is one of the big ones. So if your kid is crying a lot, multiple hours a day, flex the legs up, the stomach's kind of bloated, and the kid really doesn't like that movement of the legs upward, that can indicate potentially colic. Constipation could be another one. Obviously a breastfed kid doesn't poop as often as a formula-fed kid does, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't still be having regular bowel movements, and so looking at that. Some other things, recurrent ear infection, especially as they get a little bit older, can be a sign that there may be something going on up top. And then the last one that comes to mind is reflex. You know, if you're having a kid who is spitting up, especially if it's excessive, both in terms of frequency and amount, or you know, if they're like projectile, that can be a sign that they've got some reflex. So for any of these things, it would be worthwhile to have your kiddo checked, and if we find something, we would do an adjustment. So I've actually got my wife Rain here, as well as our son Killian. He's just barely a week old, and I'm going to demonstrate the process. So we would start out with a quick history on the pregnancy, the delivery, any sorts of potential medical issues there, just to make sure we have that history. I do a quick exam as far as range of motion, actually moving the kiddo's head around, and also feeling for muscle tightness in certain areas. And then based on that, I can figure out if an adjustment is needed. First off, if you would please just hold him up against you, and I'm just going to feel kind of through the neck and back. So real gently, I'm just feeling for symmetry from side to side. So you can see that he turned his head this way. When we first started, he had his head turned all the way the other way. One important thing too that I failed to mention is if you find that your kiddo nurses a lot better on one breast than the other, that can also indicate potentially something wrong in the neck. So that's worth checking out. Then I'll feel through the middle back, again looking for any real asymmetries from side to side, as well as down here at the low back. So the force we use with adjusting an infant is about the same as you would use to check ripeness of a tomato. So it's very, very soft. All right, so if you could please lay him down with his head this way. I'm going to hold his head. So if we found a problem on the right side of the neck, what I'll do is I take the side of my finger, put it right where that problem is located, turn the head into the position very similar of what we might do for an adjustment on an adult, but then all I'm going to do is hold light pressure where that tightness is. And as I hold that pressure on there, usually it takes somewhere between 10 and 30 seconds, and I actually feel a real minor movement. It almost feels like a wiggling under my finger. That's because babies have not really ossified fully, so there's a lot of cartilage still in there, so it's not like a bony adjustment that you would do with an adult. So you just do that, and once it moves, if there was one maybe on the other side or down lower, we could do those. In his case, he's pretty good. I've actually already worked on him once, so he doesn't need too much. But from there, what we do is go ahead and have you hold him up against you again. And through the middle back and the low back, what I do is I just use my thumbs. And through the mid back, usually we can just do a similar, what we call touch and hold, where we just put the pressure real gently and hold that position. He didn't really have anything out through the middle, but that's what that would look like. It's just a touch and hold there. Once in a while, if it really is stubborn through that area, I'll do a very, very gentle push, just the force of my thumbs, nothing with any real force behind it at all. Now, as we get down to the bigger bones of the pelvis, once in a while there, I'll actually cross my two thumbs and just give a quick little push like that. So as you can see, it's very, very gentle. I'm not moving and pushing with my body weight or anything on a little one. So hopefully that clears up some questions that you may have had about what infant adjusting looks like and how we go about it, as well as some reasons why you might want to consider it for your kid. If you're not sure, we're always happy to do a quick check on a little guy and see, or gal, and see if it seems like there might be an issue that needs addressed, but usually the symptoms are what would drive that need. So thanks you guys. Hope you found this informative. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.